Hi, I'm Sean Clark, and today I'm on FANTASM Podcast. Welcome to Horror's Holograms.
Gore Christ Phantasm Podcast. We have repeat offender. It's been a long time since we had you on the show. We have Sean Clark. How you doing, man?
Just dandy.
Last we spoke in person was at Texas Frightmare. I guess we'll talk a little bit about that first. How was your experience this year?
At Texas Frightmare?
Yeah.
Well, I always have a blast there. It's one of my favorite shows. Definitely one of the top tier horror cons in the U.S.
Sure. I was pretty...
in the world. I mean, all the good horror cons are in the U.S., to be honest with you. But,
yeah.
So I guess they get to have that title of one of the best in the world.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it was huge. You know, even normally for average convention goers, you know, Friday isn't as busy as Saturday, as they say, but I couldn't tell the difference at Texas Frightmare. Was busy the whole time. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was slammed in there, man. It's, you know, it's definitely, you know, he could definitely move it to a bigger venue, but,
yeah,
you know, I think it's, like, perfect the way it is. I mean, it really,
yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think moving it would actually hurt the show.
Yeah, I think so, too. It was laid out pretty well, and everything was easy to find, and, you know, this is our first time going, so it was great show. It was amazing, you know, and they had all the Jasons this year, and Clive, of course, was huge, so that was, you know, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely probably one of the best cons I've ever been to, you know, as far as overall, just everything.
Yeah, it was a blast. Looking forward to the next one. You know, there was talk there for a little bit where Lloyd was talking about maybe doing 2 shows a year.
Oh, wow.
Which, you know, I think he could.
Yeah.
But, you know, even if it's just one a year, I mean, it's so good. It's so good every year.
Yeah, it's worth it for sure.
Yeah.
And, let's say something about that. Oh, yeah, I think it's August 5th. They're going to do some announcements and have all that stuff for the next year's Texas Frightmare, so you can go ahead and save the date for that, because they're going to have the hotels and stuff ready to book and all that. So that's going to be cool. Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
The big thing to talk about here is HorrorHound Weekend, August 24th through the 26th in Indianapolis, which will be our first HorrorHound. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It seems to be pretty, really big this year. It's always one I wanted to catch, so it's cool. It gets to work out this time.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting for me this year, just because I've gone to the HorrorHound convention since the very first one.
Yeah.
Which I think was it 2006 or something?
Yeah, I think so.
6 or 7, I don't remember. But, you know, that was where the very first HorrorHound convention took place, was in Indianapolis. And
yeah.
This was the very first time they're moving it to a bigger venue.
Yeah, to the JW from the downtown, yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting and scary at the same time, just because, I mean, they definitely need the space. I mean, especially with this lineup they're rolling out right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's going to be nuts, and they're not done. I mean, I personally have another clients they haven't even announced yet.
Wow.
And one of them, I think, is going to go over huge. Nobody knows about, is a first-timer.
Yeah, they mentioned it, but they didn't say who yet, so.
Yeah, it's, I think people are going to, the hardcore horror fans are going to be really excited about this one.
Awesome.
This is a guy I've been working on for several years, and finally convinced him to try it. And so I think, actually, I don't know when this is going to air, but I think the announcement is going to be made tomorrow, Monday.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, they got, they threw Bruce Campbell out there and Robert Englund pretty early, and, Peter Weller, who unfortunately had to cancel for work.
Yeah.
But then, more recently they added, Kiefer and Jason Patrick, and that was just insane, I don't think anybody expected that big of a drop, so, close to the convention, so that was pretty crazy.
Well, the Kiefer announcement was pretty exciting, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, I was on my phone waiting for the photo ops to come up, because one of them's, the Saturday one's already sold out, so there's still the duos, the Lost Boys, so that's cool, but, yeah, people gotta get on that if you're wanting to get your photo ops, because they'll go. Haven't seen the autograph, they were talking about doing pre-autographs, too, for him, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that one, but, yeah, it's going to be an exciting show. I mean, they moved from, I believe, their old location was a 55,000 square foot.
Yeah.
To, I believe, this one has 110,000 square feet.
Wow.
So it's quite a jump up.
Oh, yeah.
So
looks nice, too. It's, probably wouldn't ever go to the hotel otherwise, so it looks really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's another thing that I guess is a good thing is it's closer to the airport than the other location was, which is nice. And, I guess the one thing that's always kind of a bummer about a convention moving is you get used to a certain place and it kind of becomes nostalgic and you kind of want to go back to those same places you always went to.
Right. It almost feels like a second home or something where it's,
Yeah.
You know where everything is, and, you have your little hangout spots, and,
Yeah, and that's what, that's why I think a show like Texas Frightmare or even Monster Mania, I know there was a lot of talk after their last show was so packed that people were saying they need to move to a bigger place, but it's like, you know what? If you're content as a promoter with that success, I mean, it's like, why would you risk moving it to something that could potentially, it could drop off. I mean, it's a risk. I mean, HorrorHound moving it is a risk, but the big risk would be if you didn't have a good lineup.
Right.
I mean, you pull in the lineup they're pulling in. I think it's a sure thing now. But when they first had to make this decision, which was quite a while ago, I remember having many conversations with Nathan about it, and it was like, dude, I straight up told him, I go, you need to come out guns blazing, because I've seen it happen to so many shows that have moved locations, and their attendance just dropped drastically just because people, I don't know, they get turned off by it. It's weird. There's one particular show that, I'm not going to say who they are, but there's one particular show that has moved so much that I think it's pretty much killed the show.
Right.
I mean, they just keep moving. I don't know if it's because the hotels keep kicking them out. I'm not exactly sure what the real reason is behind it.
Right.
But it's affected the show every year because they keep moving it, and people want some familiarity,
Yeah,
so.
Especially if they're booking the hotel and stuff, and the areas, and if you're from out of town and all this, which a lot of people, most people are, they want something familiar to go to every time, and it becomes more of like a routine, like that's people's vacation or something, they want to go back to that spot, and if they have to go to a different place, it's like, well, maybe this is not, what we're looking for, or, they have different policies, or I mean, who knows? Based on everybody's different, but a lot of creatures of habit. So it's
exactly. It's totally creatures of habit. It's nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember when I first started going to conventions, like when we're talking late '80s.
Yeah.
And this is back when there was really like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 horror conventions total in the U.S. And there was a Fangoria Weekend of Horrors that happened once a year in L.A.
Right.
And it became that was our thing, man. Once a year, we planned it. It was like Christmas for us. And I remember it just became our thing. And then one year, like in the '90s, they moved it, and we were so bummed. I just remember we were all like, "Are you kidding me? They're moving it?"
Yeah.
And it was, it was like, holy, you have your routine. Oh, we're going to go have dinner here. We're going to go over there.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get used to it. And then, it has nothing to do with the show whatsoever. But it doesn't affect the show in the slightest. But in your mind, you're like, oh, this is what I wanted to do. I was looking forward to that. But anyway, I have a feeling this is going to be a positive move. I have a feeling people are going to really dig this new place and its surroundings, and I just think it's going to help this particular show grow.
Yeah, it very well can. But the lineup it's got, it's probably one of the best lineups I think I've seen in a long time from any convention, and it's very strong, and I think this one's going to go over.
And it's got a lot of good variety to this particular lineup.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like it's not just lately. Certain shows mostly ones I don't actually work with.
Right.
I look at some of the guest lists, and it's like they keep bringing the same people back over and over again, and then they're peppering in these people that just don't fit. It's just like, what does that have to do with horror? I know that people are, and every show kind of does it a little bit. They'll throw a wrestler or a rock star or whatever, but it's kind of like sometimes it starts to look like, wow, that it's kind of looking like that's the only people you can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I really do.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't think certain shows really put a lot of thought into what works together and thinking about packages or
like
reunions or just trying to have a nice variety for everybody who's in the different parts of the genre.
Yeah, that's why HorrorHound is so interesting, because you got so many different things going. I mean, you have the Lost Boys with Jason Patrick and Kiefer Sutherland, but then you got Lou Diamond Phillips, so you got the Young Guns, which is amazing, with him and Kiefer.
Yeah.
And then you got Nick Castle, who's, that's incredible in and of itself, Michael Myers, and then you got Lance Guest and everything, and they got a Last Starfighter. It's incredible, So stuff like that is really cool. And one of my favorite things I saw at Texas Frightmare was the It panel. It was so funny. The kids were all great, and it was a really good panel. So I'm excited that they're all back at HorrorHound. So that's a panel to check out, because they were a lot of fun in Texas. Mm-hmm. And that's another good photo op package too.
Lloyd's good at he's good at putting together good guest lists.
Oh yeah.
He always has a good variety. There's a strong variety.
And you're right, a lot of them, it seems like they throw in the same stuff, and then the stuff that's there is like, typical things. Yeah. But I think when you really have a lineup,
you got to have your staples.
Sure.
I mean, there's certain guys that we see all the time on the circuit, but they're draws. They're still draws.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's cool. It's cool to throw them in there. But then when you're building the whole show around them,
yeah,
it's like these guys are like, you see these guys everywhere. It's like you need something. You need something that's going to make us go whoa. Kiefer Sutherland. That makes you go whoa.
Yeah, that makes you buy a plane ticket and book a hotel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like, and right now we're in a different climate in this industry because because it's getting diluted because there's so much content. There's streaming, all this streaming content and everything, and 10,000 friggin' channels.
Yeah,
they're not paying these guys what they used to.
It's people can sit at home and watch it, and even before sales, like physical media is released, they put it out on digital like a month early, so you don't even have to leave the house.
And physical media's days are numbered.
Right.
I mean,
I think in horror it's a better place, honestly, because of the resurgence of for the collector anyway, is like Shout Factory and Arrow and Synapse and all those guys.
The problem with that is those collectors are getting older.
Yeah.
And eventually they're going to die off. and the next generation that comes up, I mean, dude, you talk to a kid somebody who's under 20 years old nowadays.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even ever consider buying a DVD or a Blu-ray or a CD. Are you kidding me? What?
I'm fairly young, but I still do all that because, I grew up with at least VHS, and I remember when DVD first came around, and that was huge at the time, and so I was still in that era of media, so I always already had it. But for somebody, like you said, younger than I am, somebody that's under 20, that would be a little different for them because they didn't really have to. They didn't have long where they had to deal with it or anything, or appreciate it as much.
Yeah, I mean the collector mentality's dying.
It
just is. I mean, it's. In as far as this type of thing, films, films and music. I mean, films and music. It's. I mean, really, what's right now? Who would ever thought if you were to say 10 years ago that vinyl would be outselling every other music media?
Yeah, that's insane.
2018. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and the only reason it is because it's a retro thing. It's a collector thing. Unfortunately it's a little bit of a phase. Fad.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it lasts because I've been a vinyl collector my whole life. I love the resurgence.
Yeah, I do too.
But at the same time, the prices have gotten ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the reason the prices are ridiculous is because when these companies started putting out vinyl again, there was only like 2 plants left in the entire world that printed vinyl.
It's crazy.
So it got to be such a hot commodity that they were able to raise the prices to $30 a record.
Right.
Well, now all these vinyl factories are popping up. They're reopening them, and because everybody's making vinyl now.
Yeah.
But yet the prices aren't going down.
Yeah.
So the people are paying it. So why drop the prices?
And they're making more intricate packages that are pretty expensive too. If you're another collector's deal,
That's true. I mean, when I was a kid, $7.99 for a record.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's like. But anyway, going off on a tangent.
Oh, you're fine. This is cool. Did you keep up with San Diego Comic-Con? Did you attend that?
No. The last thing I want to do on my only weekend off is go to a convention.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, I actually enjoyed this weekend.
Good, good.
Went to a couple concerts.
You saw the Psychedelic Furs, didn't you?
Yeah, I went and saw X and the Psychedelic Furs on Thursday night.
It's awesome.
Went and saw Quicksand Friday night.
Hell yeah.
Last night was actually, oddly enough, my 30th high school reunion.
Oh, wow.
Which was a trip. So I did that and went and reminisced with a bunch of old friends. And tonight I'm going to see, I don't know if you know the comedian Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, I love Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, going to see him tonight.
He was Colonel Sanders for a little while. That was really hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think he was one of the first when they started doing that, where they were changing up the colonels every time. And yeah, when I used to do stand-up, people was always like, "Oh, you're like Jim Gaffigan." I was like, "That's flattering, but I don't like to be compared to another comedian." But that's cool, Jim's cool. He's really funny. You've got a good persona.
Yeah. So doing that tonight, and then actually tomorrow, Nathan and Trevor from HorrorHound are driving down from San Diego. They're in San Diego covering the Comic-Con for the magazine.
Awesome.
And then they're driving here and staying with me for a couple days. And we have to go have a few meetings, go check out Nathan's never seen the convention center in Pasadena where we're doing the Halloween convention.
Oh yeah, that's going to be awesome.
So we got to go there and do a walkthrough of the convention center.
Sweet.
Got to have a meeting with Malika Cod at Trancas, going over stuff for the convention.
Right.
So a lot of business crap the next 2 days. Try to squeeze in a little fun stuff while they're here.
Right.
But and then they leave back to Indianapolis back to Ohio rather on Wednesday, and I leave to London for London Film and Comic-Con.
Oh wow! Now who's going to be at that?
Dude, that guest list is nuts.
I bet.
I mean, they just announced Sam Neill yesterday.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's an awesome one. I'm pretty stoked about that.
Was it you? Did you meet Jeff Goldblum recently?
Yeah.
How was that?
He's awesome.
I bet.
He's super cool.
I saw that and I shit an egg roll. I was like, that is one of the coolest pictures on the internet right now. I was like, you met Jeff Goldblum, that's cool.
Yeah, there's actually, I don't know if you saw it on the internet, but there was it just kind of popped up on my feed. Apparently in London, there's a giant Jeff Goldblum statue.
I saw that, yeah.
And I'm definitely going to go take a picture in front of it.
Oh, you got to.
I mean, that's too amazing.
I mean, this would just be like fantasy, but could you imagine if it was you and Sam Neill with the statue?
You know, when I meet Sam, I'm definitely going to say, bro, you need to go take a pic in front of that statue.
Yeah, at least needs to be on the internet. You know, even if you're not in it or you take the picture, you know, that's just like a missed opportunity if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long that thing's going to be there for. It's clearly not permanent. But,
right.
It's pretty amazing. And just since I happen to be going this week, I figured I definitely got to grab a photo before it's gone.
Oh, yeah. And then, so who else is going to be at that London Comic-Con?
I'm bringing Meatloaf.
Wow, awesome.
Nick Castle, Lance Guest, Catherine Mary Stewart, Paul Taylor's the new Pinhead.
Yeah. Very nice guy.
Johnny Whitworth, who is from Empire Records and the 100. And,
awesome.
Let's see, Tom Atkins.
Oh yeah, Dr. Chalice.
Adrian Barbeau.
She's amazing.
And then a couple of the trash people from Walking Dead, Sabrina Gennarino and Thomas Francis Murphy. They were kind of like the two right hand people of Jadis on The Walking Dead.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so that's who I'm bringing. As far as other guests, I mean they have. It's just a crazy lineup. I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head. All I can think of is Sam Neill. It's like, gotta meet Sam Neill. I was trying like crazy to get a hold of him when we were working on the In the Mouth of Madness Blu-ray, and it's like,
yeah.
Now, of course, I'm going to be able to meet the guy. I literally got the Blu-ray in the mail yesterday. So I was like, okay, great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that, how that turned out.
Yeah, it turned out good. I mean, I'm pretty proud of the Horror's Hallowed Grounds episode we did, and then all the interview stuff. I think turned out really good too. So
sweet. What are some of the other Scream Factory stuff you've been working on that you can talk about?
Someone's Watching Me,
yep.
Which is also coming out. We did a Horror's Hallowed Grounds episode for that, and we did the bonus features for that.
Awesome.
I'm working on currently 3 other Scream Factory releases. only one of which has been announced. They just announced at Comic-Con this weekend, so I can say I'm working on Starman.
That's cool.
So,
yeah.
Don't know what we're doing on it yet, because we haven't really done anything on it yet.
Right.
we're trying, we're trying like crazy to get in touch with Jeff Bridges. That'd be amazing.
That'd be cool.
But that's the one thing that's tough about this kind of stuff is unless you have a direct contact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure when I see Sam Neill in London and I tell him I was trying like crazy to get in touch with you for this, he probably is going to say, "Oh, I would have totally done that."
Yeah.
Which I don't think he would give me lip service. I think he actually
yeah, I do too.
But the problem is when you contact their agent, and all agents care about, when I say agents, I'm talking about like CAA, WME, these kind of agencies.
Right.
They're like, well, how much money are you going to pay him? And it's like, well, this is for a bonus feature, this, blah, 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 we don't have a budget.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we'll get back. Or he's not interested.
Yeah.
And it never even actually gets to the person,
When we try to get guests for the podcast, it's a similar thing, They're like, how many, it translates more to how many hits do you get on your stuff, or, how many fans listen a week or whatever,
Unless they are making money, the person who's talking to you on the phone, unless they're making money, they don't give a shit.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, but, I get it. It's business. What they got to do,
Yeah.
That's what they are going to do, regardless. So. But, yeah, that's the way it goes, usually. So I was happy about the Critters announcement. I think that's pretty badass.
Yeah. There is a chance I might be working on that a little bit.
Oh, it's crazy.
Because one of my friends is doing all the bonus features for it.
Sweet.
So there's been some talk about us possibly doing something for it. That's all I can say.
That'd be really
You
cool.
can probably figure out what that something is, but
yes,
I
can.
can't say what that is. But we're talking about it, so
Awesome. I look forward to it.
it really comes down to time.
Yeah.
Time is something I really don't have much of right now.
Sandy, you're a very busy man.
Yeah, I'm on the road constantly, and it just, it gets to the point where you're really only home Tuesday and Wednesday every week, and then you're gone.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much like Thursday, leave, you'd leave somewhere for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show, and then you return Monday night. So you have Tuesday, Wednesday. That's kind of it, And it's kind of a pattern that I've been following lately, and that really kicks into gear again next month.
Oh, yeah. You're conditioned.
Well, actually, it kicks into gear this Wednesday. I basically start on 5 weekends in a row of conventions. So.
Wow. Now, I wanted to ask you about this, because, this is my first HorrorHound. Talk about Mask Fest. Is that also during the convention? It's like not like a separate thing, or is it?
No, it's part of the convention.
Okay.
And it's basically, I can't say exactly how it's going to be laid out at this show because it's a new venue, but the way it was done before was it was a completely separate ballroom that was dedicated to mask type, special effects, makeup, mask vendors and stuff, and guests.
Awesome.
But it's not a separate admission or anything. It's all part of the show.
That's what I thought, but I've never been, and it was, it looks really cool. It's like almost like a separate thing as far as when you go look up the guests and stuff for, Tom Savini and, a lot of the vendors and stuff that I've seen at some of the other cons that, these special effects artists that make some amazing looking masks and stuff. So I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, Chris Nelson is kind of I think the guest of honor for the Mask Fest.
Yeah.
He's the Academy Award winning special effects artist that, won it for Suicide Squad.
Yep.
And just did the new Halloween.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So I'm
I'm
excited
sure
for
people
that.
are going to be bugging him all weekend. I believe he's going to bring one of the screen-used Myers masks to the show as well.
That's so cool. Yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. I also want to talk about the H40 thing. Talk a little bit about that.
What do you want to know?
Everything. It's already been announced. I mean, there's actually a lot of guest announcements that have popped up on there, and
yeah, it's I put on the 25th, the 30th, and the 35th to mention.
Awesome.
And those were a lot of work.
Yeah.
And basically, every time I did one, it took like a year out of my life, to plan something like that.
Right.
This time, I did not plan on doing a 40th, but Malik called me and, said, hey man, we got to do a 40th. We got the new movie coming out.
Sure.
It's the 40th anniversary. I need you. And I said, well, look, there's no way I have time to put on a convention. It's just not happening. I said, however, how about this? How about I hook you up with the guys that can do it and should do it? And I said, and that's HorrorHound,
Awesome.
I said, not only, are they a magazine and put on great shows, but, the one show Jamie Lee Curtis did was HorrorHound Weekend in Indianapolis.
Yep.
She loved them. She loved how well they ran the show. If there's ever a chance in hell we could get Jamie to do another one, it would be if HorrorHound was doing it,
Yeah, sure.
So they liked that idea too, so I hooked them up. And it's been a little slow going, just because, when I did it myself, I just kind of did it. And, this time around, there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, because you're dealing with, HorrorHound, Trancas, Compass International, Universal, Blumhouse. Everybody has a stake in it because of the new movie, the old movies. So there's a lot of
that's very hyped this time.
A lot of things that have to be approved and this and that, and that's what really kind of took the longest just to get the thing launched. We've been talking about it for a long time, and people were starting to get nervous. Like, is this thing happening? Is it not happening? Obviously, absolutely happening. But we kind of jumped into, it kind of got to the point recently where it was like, hey guys, if we don't announce this friggin' thing right now, we're missing our window, and this ain't happening. And so we kind of just launched. And it was funny because Nathan launched it, but was like, okay, nobody's going to know that we've put it up. Let's work on here. This is, just a few of the guests we talked about already, Sean. Tell me what you think of the images and everything. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, okay, you need to change that. We need to add this person. And then all of a sudden it was on the internet. The guests have been announced. I'm like, oh, shit.
It was on the HorrorHound page that they found it, because they put a little link at the bottom of the page where it was like the H40 was like one of the stops, for the next few conventions with the dates on it. And then people started talking, and then they officially announced it. I was like, man, these people find everything,
So anyhow, it was kind of, we kind of scrambled for the next few hours to get everything kind of tweaked and, add some people that we had missed in the initial announcement that we wanted to be in the initial announcement. And then, we've just been adding people slowly.
Right.
The problem is, we're pulling from 11 different films.
Right.
And, I mean, if you had 3 guests from each film, I mean, how many guests is that? Like, was it 33 right there?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's nuts.
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of guests.
Yeah.
And everybody's reaching out to us. I mean, everybody. And we just So
right.
you can't, you know.
No.
So we're just trying to be, right now, we're just trying to get the important ones announced right away. Let's get, like, the key people locked in.
Sure.
And then let's just start peppering in the rest. And that's kind of where we're at right now. I mean, there's lots of people confirmed we haven't announced. It's just, you know, obviously one thing every promoter likes to do is to slowly roll out guests. Because it keeps the excitement going.
Yeah.
You know, it keeps people coming back to the website and checking, oh my God, did they add someone?
Yeah,
if you don't put them all out immediately,
right.
then it's like, okay, there it is.
Then it's all done.
You know?
But, you know, people, you got to keep them on their toes, especially if they already have it booked and they're like, oh, there's still more stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean, here we are a month away from the HorrorHound show in Indy, and like I said, I still have like 6 guests he hasn't announced.
Right.
You know, so he's keeping the excitement building. And, you know,
I dig
cool.
it. I think it's brilliant.
So, you know, we'll be doing the same thing with the Halloween thing. I'm sure when Nathan is over here tomorrow and Tuesday, we're going to probably add a few more. But, you know, again, this is a HorrorHound convention. This is a show being put on by Trancas, you know, and HorrorHound and Compass, and it's not my show.
Right.
I mean, I am involved. I am, like, kind of in an advisory role, but I'm
Sure.
not profiting from the convention. None of the money on tickets at the door is going to me. I'm just putting my people in it, helping them, you know, facilitate, you know, just showing them what I did and,
right.
you know, kind of helping out, because I personally feel that if you're an agent and a promoter, that's a conflict of interest.
Sure, yeah, I agree with that.
And so that's something that I don't want to, you know, I don't want to cross that line, because I wouldn't feel that it would be ethical for me to take a percentage of what my clients made at the show if I was also taking a percentage of what people were paying to get in the building, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, I'm making that clear to people that, hey, not my show, but I am involved. And then, I mean, however, though, the Horror's Hallowed Grounds tours, that is a separate thing.
Right.
So when I do that, I will be profiting from that. So that has nothing to do with the convention.
As well, you should, though.
Yeah, it's separate. It's a separate event, and you know, connected to the convention. So
Sure.
And that's something we're working on. I'm hoping I can have some real details on after our meeting this week, because I have some exciting ideas of things I want to do that have never been done before.
Right.
But it's going to take an additional day. So even though right now it shows that the convention is the 12th to the 14th, the actual event itself, the actual convention, is Saturday, Sunday. That
right.
Friday is going to be like, you know, either a Horror's Hallowed Grounds tour or maybe a VIP party. We haven't figured out what everything that's happening on Friday.
Right.
But the other event I want to do, it would take a separate day. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do that on Monday or if I want to do that on Friday and do the bus tours on Monday.
Right.
You know, I know some people just jumped the gun and just started buying plane tickets as soon as they heard the dates.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I'm sure I've already had some people tell me online, dude, I can't stay till Monday. I already bought my flight.
Right.
No, I'm sorry.
Well,
So we'll see what happens. And hopefully I'll get all that info out soon and people can make a decision on what they are and are not going to do. But I will tell you this, it is going to be a chock full of Halloween.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be, you know, if you're a Halloween fan, you're going to be in heaven.
That's what I'm hoping, yeah. What it looks like. You know, it would be a cool guess. I don't know if he's done conventions before, but Busta Rhymes would be pretty cool. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't think that would ever happen.
Probably not. That's why it would just be so weird, but it'd be cool.
And I think I would be afraid to put him in a Halloween convention just because I so many people hated him in that movie.
Oh, I loved him in that movie.
There is so much hatred. I'm glad you liked him, but I would say 99% of the people I've talked to despised him and thought he was the demise of the franchise.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
See, I loved Resurrection. The whole thing was cool. I mean, it's more for like when it came out, it was like perfect for the time. Like it's almost like a timepiece, like how it started being. It's almost like MTV or something. But it was cool. It was different, and I enjoyed it. And I liked him. I'm the 1%, I guess.
You are. It's not a very beloved film. I mean, it's just not. I mean, the trick or treat motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's not one of the most quotable lines in a good way.
I would have him sign that. Be like, "What do you want me to sign, man?" I'd be like, "Trick or treat, motherfucker."
I would have him sign that too. There's no doubt.
Man.
I don't see that happening. You know what? I'll try, but
yeah, I mean,
it doesn't hurt to ask. He may be like, "Yeah, man, see that Michael Myers, man, I'm gonna come up here." So who knows?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if you can get him. Maybe people will find some appreciation for him if they meet him. Some people you don't think. Not you don't like an actor, but when you see how they're with people, you're just like, this guy's really cool. I'm gonna go ahead. Like for an example, when I went to Texas Frightmare, I met Billy Zane, which he's gonna be at HorrorHound too. He's such an amazing person, and I didn't, I usually plan who I'm gonna meet, what vendors I'm gonna do, and I try to pre-plan everything financially, but when I saw how Billy Zane was interacting with people, I was like, screw it, I'm going to go give him some money and get my picture and stuff. And awesome dude, just super cool. I had like a Greasy Strangler beanie on, and he took a picture of me in the hat, and he was like, I got to take a picture of the hat, that's sick. And he's like, he's just a cool guy. So for those of you going to HorrorHound, definitely go talk to Billy Zane. He's really cool.
Yeah, something tells me Buster Rhymes would actually be a really, really cool guy.
I think so.
I just don't. I don't know. Yeah.
Give it a shot at least. Tell me what he says.
Yeah. See if him and LL Cool J will show up.
Yeah, why not?
Tyra Banks, maybe.
You can get the whole crew, and do a photo op. I don't know who would go for that. Me, my 1%ing ass will show up. Be like, yes, I want that photo op. But what else do you got going on that you want to plug before we depart here?
Gosh, not much more. I think we've kind of covered it. Just doing the convention thing. Trying to do the Scream Factory stuff, and I don't. And helping out on this Halloween convention, I don't have much room for anything else.
Yeah, right.
I don't have much spare time. So having this weekend off, while everybody was at Comic-Con was great. It was nice to not have to go anywhere. So.
Sure. Go see some concerts, have a good time, meet some friends, and catch up with some buddies, that's pretty cool. So helps you clear your head and make you feel human, for a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to have real friends when you're gone all the time. It's funny. The convention circuit is like the traveling circus, and
yeah,
that's where my friends are. It's like I see my friends random times during the year.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's pretty much just me and my girlfriend, and she travels with me. And
that's cool.
That's my friend.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah, my fiance are the same way. We're gonna do press stuff. She'll come with me, and she had never done conventions. I started pulling her to them, and she's has a blast every time. So turned her into a bigger horror fan than she was just by doing. She just loves the atmosphere of it. So it's good.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, man.
I ain't got much else. I don't think. Unless you got any questions.
No, I think I got everything covered. We appreciate everything you do. Really do. It all reflects. You're a pretty rad dude, and we appreciate everything. So thank you.
I appreciate being a rad dude. Thank you. See, all my crap. I guess. Let's see, on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Malfunction, which is the word malfunction, but instead of TION, it's SEAN. So
it's a great pun.
MALS. What's that?
It's a great pun.
Yeah, it's stupid, but nobody else has it, so it's easy.
Damn right.
It's just hard to tell people how to spell it. They always screw it up. So at Malfunction, and then Facebook and all that crap on there. I don't know. There's a Horrors Hallowed Grounds Facebook page. I had to do a stupid Sean Clark fan page because I hit my limit on, which is so stupid that they have a friend limit on Facebook. I don't get that, but
yeah, I don't.
So just one more stupid thing I have to pay attention to that I don't have time to pay attention to.
Right.
And then got conventions coming up. I'll be at London Film and Comic Con next weekend. Then after that, see, where am I going to be? I'm going to be at Flashback Weekend in Chicago.
Awesome.
And the weekend after that, Walker Stalker Orlando. And the weekend after that, Monster Mania Cherry Hill. Weekend after that, HorrorHound Indianapolis. And then home.
Then home.
Yeah. I usually go to Toronto Fan Expo, but this year I'm personally not going. I'm going to take that weekend off.
Hey, why not? There's a lot before that point, so you might as well.
Yeah, I'll be pretty toasted by that weekend.
I bet.
And there's the same weekend as HorrorHound Indianapolis, there's this event in Atlanta, an evening with Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Awesome.
I will be at that as well, so I'm actually flying from Indianapolis to Atlanta to do that, and then going back to Indianapolis to finish HorrorHound. So I'll be at both that weekend. So,
that's insane. I don't know how you do it, man.
I got a lot of miles.
Yeah. Just in a weekend.
Yeah.
You pack a lot in there. All right.
It's what to do. It's what I do.
Well, Sean, it's always a pleasure talking to you, and we'll keep in touch and everything, and I will see you in Indianapolis.
All right, brother. Take care. I'll see you there.
Hey, you too, man. Thank you.
Right here is 716 Meridian, and I'm getting attacked by a bee or something. What is that? Bug just got in our face. One of the numbered was butchered. This is the wake. Dumbass, don't know how to carry a pumpkin. Harold, you want mayonnaise? You want mustard on your sandwich? How about mayonnaise? Let's do that again. Hold the up. All right. And get that blonde nurse back in here. Or the sister. I'm all good. I'm an equal opportunity employer. Know what I'm saying? All right. And the interior of the high school, which Jamie Lee Curtis learned about. I almost went into Elm Street. Learned about fate. Wrong movie. So they removed the door for filming to make it easier access and better shooting possibilities.